I am live once again, and I'm in a very good mood this time, despite the fact that I have a fractured rib. Been healing nicely, thank you for asking. If you were curious about what happened based on last week, because I was feeling god awful, and yet I streamed because I wanted to enjoy myself, or at least try to. Uh, Tonight it's Seattle and Green Bay. And I need the Packers to beat the heck out of the Seahawks, even though they're on the road doing so at Lumen Field. Or maybe I should put your corporate logo here field, because it's like many stadiums and arenas will go through name changes when sponsorships end. At any rate, my Cardinals, they did a number on the Patriots, which I was hoping would happen. The any given Sunday rule did not help the Patriots this time, nor did it help the Giants, among a couple of other teams who maybe had upset hopes. My Sun Devils. Go, Devils, go! I hadn't taken much stock in the college football playoff until my Sun Devils actually started doing well for a change. Something they hadn't done in a while. Probably almost a decade since they had a chance at such college football glory. And by God, not only did they win the Big 12 championship, they actually got number 4 in the seedings. They're ranked 4th in the nation according to that mystery panel that makes up these rankings. And it's just remarkable what Kenny Dillingham has done with the Devils. And also remarkable what Jonathan Gannon has done with the Cards. They're at 500 again. And in contention for that NFC West title, which they're going to need because I think just being second won't do in this case. There are too many good teams in other divisions. So it's imperative that the Seahawks lose. It didn't help that the Rams beat the Niners. That was a very disappointing game to watch on Thursday. And it's clear when certain people get hurt, certain teams, as a result, won't do as well. Especially if you're playing a halfway decent team. The way the Bears are, they're going downhill. The Niners were going to beat them rather easily after what the Bears had been through, losing so closely the past 4 games and losing their head coach as a result. The Rams, who are desperate to stay in the playoff hunt themselves, were not going to make it easy on them. And as a result, you had a touchdown-less game. I hope that's not going to be the case today, or tonight, as it is. So the game's going to be starting in a couple minutes. Back to the Sun Devils. 4th in the nation means they actually get a bye as well. And in looking at the bracket, it looks like they're going to face the winner of Clemson and Texas, which is going to be quite the remarkable achievement. I don't think they've played either team. Those are 2 storied programs that have each won national titles. And whatever happens, it's going to be a treat. And I hope that the games are at a time when I can watch them. It gets kind of weird because typically games are done on Saturdays for college. Although if the money's right, they'll probably play on any day other than Friday or Sunday. So I gotta recheck the schedule. I'll do that sometime tonight. And Mike Holmgren's going over the rivalry that's happened since Seattle's done better and the Packers too in the new millennium. And Holmgren's a good choice because he's coached both of them. He took both teams to the Super Bowl, but he only won with Green Bay. They're going over that Hasselbeck, we're going to score quote, the Fail Mary. Both of these teams are really going to be hungry for a win because the Seahawks could still win the West. The Packers just need to win to hang with the wild card entries because I almost said Washington's old team. The Commanders won today. Now the Lions lost, but that's not going to help the Packers much because the Lions are pretty well ahead in that division lead. Although if Minnesota wins, then everything would change on that. But that game isn't until Monday. Philly won 2. And the Bucks won also. A lot of teams that you expect to win actually did, so it makes it tough for these two teams to hang on to their positioning. It'll be interesting to see which team gets the win unless there happens to be a tie. So it's almost ready to start. The Seahawks are doing their lime green uniform thing. And they're showing the records of the respective divisions. And they've got another Packer-Seahawk connection with a player who's played for both teams. It's going to be the Seahawks punter, John Ryan. They're going to be raising the banner for the 12th man, which I have to wait for. Oh, the cheerleaders are doing the lime green thing, too. That's a change I can believe in. Not much wind going on, it looks like. That 12 flag looks pretty limp. And this is the most I've seen a punter animated since Pat McAfee. So Green Bay won the toss and for once elected to receive, which you rarely see anymore. Although it's happening maybe a little bit more frequently this year. And they are going to take it. It's Keyshawn Nixon with the run, and he got some holes, but he was eventually tackled. So they're introducing the Packer offense. Got a couple of Dakota guys representing North and South. I wish Nash were here so we could discuss that. My moderator of excellence. They start out with a screen pass attempt to Jacobs, but he only gets 3. Hasn't had their quarterback Jordan Love hasn't had as good a year as before, but he's been interception free at least the last 3 games, as they note. So it's they say Jacobs got 4, so it's 2nd and 6. Love's in the gun, back to pass. He does another quick pass out to Jacobs on the other side, and he gets a first down easily. There's a flag on the play already. Let's see what that involves. Unnecessary roughness on Reek Woolen, who's the guilty party. I'm surprised they didn't call roughing the passer explicitly. Oof. Yeah, that was kind of a dirty play, and that, I don't know why I'm saying kind of. It was also pretty dumb. So they're already at the Seattle 31, the Packers are. And the 12th man is trying to be as good a distraction as possible. Love's under the center. Dontavian Wicks is in motion. Jacobs gets the handoff this time, and he gets 3. And now they introduce the defense of the Seahawks. And the 12th man's so loud I could barely hear what places they're representing. Love hands it off to Jacobs after some attempted misdirection, and he gets 4. Well, I managed to eat lunch. Oh, hey, Jade. How you doing? Happy Sunday to you. This is a day where you can go ahead and just chill because your Vikings are playing next day, tomorrow. While I'm saying that, Jacobs got another run and got the first down. I hope you've enjoyed this weekend. Whoever else is in here, feel free to chat me up on any little thing or any big thing you're interested in. Take off your jacket and stay a while. It's cold. And I have not wanted to go out at all since I had my little accident in the tub. Jacobs has gotten over 1,000 yards for the season. Running backs have really made a comeback this year. Another toss play to Jacobs, who gets to the 10 or just short of the 10. Yeah. I've spent most of the weekend recovering from my fall in the shower. Mainly just been playing Star Trek Fleet Command and trying in vain to get some chores done. Oh yeah, the Cards won today. They beat the Patriots by 13. Very happy. So I'm wearing this with pride again. So 2nd down and about 2. Love is in the gun. Hands it off to Jacobs once more with feeling. He gets yet another first down. So they're methodically moving down the field. And a bit of chippiness manifesting already. Thank you very much for the congratulations. I'll be watching you, and because if it's on ESPN, I won't be able to get it. So I'll be watching your stream tomorrow. 1st and goal, under 11 minutes to play in the quarter. Love is in the gun again. And a fake handoff to Reed, another handoff to Jacobs. He only gets about a yard. Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. And I imagine you must be happy that the Lions lost. It gives the Vikings a sure shot chance at a possible division title. So they're going to rest Jacobs on this play. Emmanuel Wilson's the lone back. Love is under center. And he fakes the hand. Love fakes the handoff to Wilson. And now he's going to try and run it in. And he's short. He got to the one. Oh. Since Lawrence got that brutal hit on him, I'm kind of extra sensitive seeing to what happens when the quarterbacks give themselves up. Thankfully, nothing happened in that instance. 9:30 to go in the quarter. Love's under center again. Big man formation to the right. He hands off to Jacobs, who easily gets in. And as Jade would call it, the evil to the east is up 6 already. Yeah, the Lions' loss is the Vikings' gain. Who do they play again? I know the Falcons play the Raiders in the B game. As I wait for the PAT to be attempted by Brandon McManus. And it's good. Ten plays, nearly 6 minutes taken off the clock, and Josh Jacobs was the man on all but one of the plays. Oh, yeah, the Bears. Now, in the other games today, there were quite a few games where where high-win teams were facing high-lose teams, and the high-win teams did their job. Still, there's the any given Sunday rule. It's a divisional matchup. The Bears could, with this extra time to prepare for the Vikings, make it difficult. We'll see what happens on Monday. And as for the Falcons, they really need to pick it up, given the Bucs won. Although the Saints lost, so there's breathing room for them in terms of who they have to compete against for a wild card spot if they end up headed that direction. But they still have a chance of the division title. I'm just double checking the scores here. See if I missed anything. The Broncos beat the Colts. So it makes it a lot tougher for the Colts to get into the playoffs this go-round. The Chiefs beat the Browns, solidifying their hold on the AFC as a whole. The Texans beat the Dolphins. They clinched a playoff spot. I don't remember if it was said that they clinched the division title, but it obviously helps their playoff positioning. And the Dolphins having lost, it's tougher on them, obviously. The Cowboys beat the Panthers and have extremely slim hopes of still making the playoffs. So that's about the size of it. Okay. So, as a consequence of the whiteout, Vanilla Ice wants to perform in Minneapolis. I wonder what he has other than Ice Ice Baby and Play That Funky Music, White Boy. He doesn't have much of a catalog to go with as McManus kicks it off, and the Seahawks are going to return it too. Garden returns it to the 25, number 1. And Geno Smith is leading the offense for the Seahawks, and they are being introduced as we speak. Interesting. One guy introduced himself flatly as from Jamaica. Yeah, man. So Smith is in the gun. He's got Zach Charbonnet to his left. Fakes the handoff to him. Smith goes back to pass and lofts one to Metcalf. And he gets a first down. No Kenneth Wright. Still hurting. Obviously, that wasn't an issue when they beat my Cardinals. And we got a handoff to Charbonnet now, but he only gets a yard. Slayton of the Packers, number 93, in on the tackle. Smith hasn't done quite a decent job this year. Like Lovey's had a lot of interceptions this year. I wish they had some against the Cardinals. Smith is in the gun. Lockett is in motion. Smith gets his pass off to Noah Fant, the tight end. The primary tight end, that is. Tight ends are getting a lot of use in this pass-happy offense. The NFL has done it. There's a Packer fan with a cheese head saying, one day we'll make it to Lambeau. They must be a Seattle resident now. And quarter's almost over. Things have gone by pretty fast. It's 3rd and 4 now. Smith in the gun again. Doing the audible thing. Back to pass now. And he's in trouble, and he is being sacked. Edgerrin Cooper salutes the Packer faithful who made it. So the Packers are going to get the ball back, provided there isn't going to be a fake bunt. Dixon's the punter for Seattle, as we're under 7 minutes left. The punt is off. I believe that was Jaden Reed on the fair catch at the 20. So, good start for the Packers, obviously. Jade, I know that's not what you want. Okay. Appreciate everyone who stops by so I can talk about stuff. That Ally commercial was very disconcerting. It showed what could have happened when I got divorced. It's one of the reasons why I mute the commercials. I'd switch channels, but this Fire TV doesn't make it easy to do in terms of hitting numbers. This Insignia remote is very small. It's to make room for all the specialty things you can see on it, like stuff I can't afford to pay for. So you got to go the up and down route, which sometimes means either undershooting or overshooting where you want to go. But I got it cheap off of my ex-neighbor for $25. Can't complain about that too much. And you know the old cliche, beggars can't be choosers. As they show Lumen Field being illuminated in the dark. They're showing some of the more radically adorned Seahawk fans. And the Seattle Tower, which went up last year. Quite a sight to behold, and it offers quite a number of other sights to behold when you're up there. And they got the Christmas tree lights on it. So the Packers are starting at the 20. Love is back to pass, and again, Jacobs gets the catch. And again, he gets the first down and breaks a tackle in the process and gets the 41. Whoa. So nobody's missing Aaron Jones too much out in Lambeau country, I gather. Love back to pass again, and he gets it to Jaden Reed, who nearly gets a first down, tackled by Knight, number 48 of the Seahawks. And he's got a lime mouthpiece on him. Deciding to buy into the color scheme. So 2nd and 1. Love is in the gun. Hey, that rhymes. I may have a hit. And he hands it off to Wilson. I don't know if he got it. It was going to be close regardless. Let's see here. Nope, they say he got it. So they're officially in Seahawks territory again. And Jacobs is back in. Love is back under center. And he pitches it to Jacobs, and now refs are whistling like crazy. So they were having trouble getting the play off before the play clock. They actually did it, but then LaFleur decided to call a timeout regardless. So a timeout wasted by the Packers. Hopefully it won't haunt them later on. So, Love under center yet again. See if they change the play as a result. Reed's now in motion. Nope, it's a handoff to Jacobs, who bursts through, and he gets tackled by number 8 in the secondary, but not before getting another first down and not before getting another huge chunk of yardage. He definitely came to play, and so did the Green Bay offensive line. And the number 8 for the Seahawks, I don't know. I didn't get the chance to see the back of his uni. Jacobs gets another breather. There's 4 minutes left in the quarter. Love hands it off to Jaden Reed, who is in the backfield, who does a good job of running on his own. Is forced out of bounds, and we have a 2nd down and short. So far, me like. Officially, they call it a 9-yard gain, so it's only going to be 2nd and 1. As Jacobs is still on the sidelines resting up. Love's in the gun. As Dobbs in motion. And we got a handoff again. This time it was to Brooks, number 30. And he gets a first down yet again. Jacobs is back out. As Love surveys the scene, gets the ball in the gun, gets a pass off to Reed, and forced out of bounds again. Josh Jobe was the one who forced him out. Number 29 for the Seahawks. So 2nd and 8. Love's in the gun again. He's got an empty backfield this time. Reed in motion. Love back to pass. Gets it off quick. And Dobbs gets into the end zone carrying Seahawks on his back for a touchdown. Dobbs is doing a windmill celebration. He's got one of those extra padded helmets on. Wow. Tom Grossi must be going nuclear right now with joy. Woolen and Love could not bring him down. McManus with the PAT as we're officially under 2 minutes in the quarter, and it's good. And we're at a commercial break. So let me go ahead, bring up ESPN, and double check that CFP bracket for the playoff. As we wait for Google to load. And we keep waiting. And waiting. So in the headlines, we're seeing the injury report already. Nick Chubb had another injury. Apparently broke his foot. Miami Dolphins player had to go into the hospital after being hit by another player's helmet. I know Mahomes had his ankle injured. And now they're saying he might not play next week. Oh, my Suns are playing the Blazers tonight. Keep an eye on that when I can. Now, one of the good things about this is that they didn't cower to SEC intimidation. They did a pretty good job of basing it on the best teams at this moment. because SMU, even though they lost the title game for the ACC, they still got in as an 11th seed. They'll face Penn State. McManus, in the meantime, kicks it as we're back to the action. It was just before the end zone, so Garden is trying to run it out, and he gets to the 29. So that's 3 kickoff returns in a row as the Packers defense is introduced. So there's 1:48 left in the quarter as Smith is in the gun. Smith and Jigba is in motion. Smith now back to pass, and he's able to get another pass completed to Metcalf. At the next commercial break, I'm going to go over this college football bracket in its entirety. A lot of people in motion, a lot of people at the line. Only Charbonnet's in the backfield. Smith is under center. Lockett's in motion. Charbonnet gets the handoff, and he slips a tackle and is able to get the first down. That didn't look good initially. Oh, now we got a flag. Holding on the offense. It's coming back. Number 51, Oluwatimi, is the guilty party. So, let's see. It'll be 2nd and long now. Smith is in the gun. Charbonnet's to his left. Smith is now back to pass. And he lofts it up. And he's got Smith and Jigba wide open. So they do get the first down after all. And they're in Packer territory. Gain of 25. And the play's already started. Charbonnet's going to get the run. And he gets through a big hole and goes deeper into Packers territory. And now the quarter's over. A lot of green tonight between the two teams. The accents being blue and yellow. So, we now have a moment to discuss college football 1A playoff. Come on. Thank you. So the first round is going to be played next weekend. And the quarterfinals will be along New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Tennessee plays Ohio State in another game. So the SEC did get some representation. Texas, I got to remember, they're in the SEC too now. And then Indiana plays Notre Dame. 2 Indiana schools duking it out. And Indiana's the last team you'd expect to be here. Well, there are a couple teams that you wouldn't expect to be here. Number 1, my Devils. Number 2, the Indiana Hoosiers, who are a basketball happy place. Third would be SMU, which like Arizona State when it comes to the Big 12, it's their first year in the ACC, and they win the whole thing, at least in the regular season. Although they dropped that spot to Clemson. which is quite used to being in high-pressure situations. And they get to play Texas, like I said. Now, the winner of the Tennessee-Ohio State game goes to face another first-time winner, just getting into the new division, Oregon. Okay. So, Smith in the gun is back to pass, and he gets it to Smith and Jigba yet again, who is forced out of bounds. Quay Walker with the push. And so 2nd and 1, the ball's in the 22. They try to get to Charbonnet, but he's tackled for a loss. Ngabare is the tackler, number 55 for the Packers. So it's going to be 3rd down. Hey, Smith is in the gun. The ball's officially at the 24.5 of the Packers. Lock in motion. Smith now back to pass, and he's in trouble, and he's sacked again. This time it was Rashawn Gary, number 52, who gets his hands on him. Brooks, number 94, had the initial pressure, but it was Gary who delivered the final blow. So the Seahawks are going to be forced to kick a field goal. Myers will be the kicker. It's going to be a 48-yarder. Kick is up, and it's right almost down the center. 12:59 left in the half. The Seahawks are at least on the board, but I'm sure they're disappointed with the outcome. So, back to the bracket. So SMU is going to play Penn State, like I said. The winner of that will face Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. And you talk about another surprise. Because the power conferences have always gotten this bias towards them. But Boise State wound up getting the 3rd spot. Georgia got the 2nd spot, having beaten Texas for the title, though it was quite a tough matchup. They'll play the winner of Indiana Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, which will be played in Nolans. Be interesting to see who has the majority of the fans. And given a lot of new teams are in a unfamiliar environment, like my Sun Devils, the fans didn't show out in the championship game against Iowa State. I was surprised at that. Neither team had a lot of fans there. I mean, they had their fair shares of fans, both of them. But AT&T Stadium's mammoth holds about 83,000. on a normal day. And I really should see about how many people actually showed up. We're almost back to the action. We've got 3 running backs right now that have made over 1,000 yards for the season. Barkley, Jacobs is one of them. Saquon Barkley is obviously another. And then Derrick Henry would be the third. Dixon kicks it off. Again, it's going to be returned. Wow. Nixon, tries to hurdle a guy, but eventually gets to the 29 where he would have been anyway. All right. So the Packers start off with Jordan Love faking the handoff and going back to pass. He gets it off to Tucker Kraft, who gets to the 37 and 2 yards short of a first down. Love almost got sacked, but he was able to get the pass off in time. Love under center, then hands it off to Jacobs, who slips as he's being tackled by number 97, Hankins. He's short of a first, so it'll be about 3rd and 1. 12 minutes left in the half. Looks like more of a half a yard, although Love's in passing formation. Gets it off quickly to Wicks. Was tackled by Bryant, and it looks like he got a first down. So first down for the Packers on the just short of the 40. Love is back to pass. Lofts it up downfield. Oh, he got Christian Watson. What a catch. And he seems to be the Packers guy to make tough catches near the sideline. So they're already at the Seahawks 24. Love hands it off to Jacobs once again. And he's stopped at the 23, 22 and a half. And those black pellets indicate how well he did in keeping his feet in bounds. It was right in front of the side judge, and she was unequivocally sure about that being a catch, despite the Seahawks defense best efforts to say no, it wasn't a catch. And we got another handoff to Jacobs, and it's another short gain as the Seahawks build up on him. Looks like the D-line is finally starting to get a hang of things. Third and 6. We're under 10 minutes. Love's in the gun. Love's back to pass. Gets it off. He had Dobbs open, but it was thrown a little bit much to the side. Too much to the side. The way the broadcasters are sounding, there may have been a miscommunication on where he was supposed to go. So McManus is out for a field goal try. He's been 11 of 12 for his short tenure with the Packers. It's going to be a 39-yarder. The snap, the hold, the kick, it's good. So 5 drives altogether between the two teams. 4 of them have resulted in scores. Okay. So in their drubbing of Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game, there were a grand total of 55,889 people to see it. So it was only 2/3 full, roughly. I expected a lot more turnout by both teams, given how starved they were of championship opportunities. I think this was Iowa State's first in God knows how long. I'd have to look at Wikipedia for that. Usually they're good for the occasional upset or 2 or 3. I know Brock Purdy played well with them, but in his tenure, I don't think they got more than 8 wins in a season. In the old days when they were in the Missouri Valley, they had 2 conference titles. They had a division title once in the Big 12. That was in 2004, which, quite frankly, surprises me. So we have yet another kickoff return by Darden for the Seahawks. He gets up to the 25. And the best they could do when they won that title was go to the Independence Bowl against a MAC team. So let's see. Smith is under center, hands it off to somebody other than Nick Charbonnet. Oh, McIntosh, number 25. Okay, 2nd and 5. Smith is doing the audible thing while he's in the gun. McIntosh is to his left. And he hands off to McIntosh yet again, who's trying to squirm through any kind of hole, but he only gets a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. So 3rd and 4, ball's at the 31 of the Seahawks. Smith's in the gun again. McIntosh is now to his right. Smith back to pass, gets it off, and he got a completion to Bobo, number 19. And Bobo's trying to make like he wasn't touched, but the refs didn't buy it. If he did get touched, he was touched by Nixon, who will probably get credit for the tackle, even though he really didn't do any sort of tackling. Smith's in the gun again. Bobo's in motion. Smith now back to pass. Gets it off. Gets it to Smith and Jigba for a short gain. Barely missed being sacked. He got 5 on that gain, and now it's a handoff to Charbonnet. The Packers did a good job extending that. He had a tough time getting it around, but he eventually got through for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 and 6:30 left in the half. And Rashawn Gary kind of blew up the play and made it hard for the O-line to get through downfield to make more big blocks. Smith back to pass now already, and he throws it. Tried to get to Charbonnet, but it was too far. Incomplete. Oh, now we have a late flag. So clock stops with 6:04. Holding on the defense, number 25. Nixon, the guilty party. Didn't do much. Lockett hit the turf. Okay, well, it's 1st down for the Seahawks on the Packers 48. Smith is back to pass again, and he gets it off, and Smith and Jigba catches it at the 30, slips down, and the Seahawks do the pat down thing to make sure he's considered tackled, but not before getting to the Packers 30. Smith and Jigba's had 79 receptions this year. He's definitely having a better year than last. Smith's in the gun. Does a shovel pass to Smith and Jigba now. But the Packers had that well covered, and he's forced out of bounds after just a 2-yard gain. Between the two QBs, only one incompletion. Official incompletion, that is. Under 5 minutes left now in the half. Smith is under the gun. Or in the gun, I should say. Now back to pass. Gets the pass off to Fant again. Forced out of bounds. And the Packers only rushed 2. Which was interesting. Thankfully, I had lunch, so that may be why I'm yawning as the food settles in and makes me drowsy. So I won't be going hungry all game. Smith's in the gun again. Smith and Jigba is in motion. Smith back to pass, and now he's going to run it. And he slides and gets past the 20 for a first down, but now another flag. .357 left as the refs discuss what happened. Holding on the defense again on Nixon. Let's see if this is more justified. Yep. Not much of a hold, but it was enough. So ball's at the 13 of the Packers now. Lockett's in motion as Smith's in the gun. Back to pass now. Throws it to Smith and Jigba again, but he can't make much. Packers did a good job keeping their eye on that. So the backup center got hurt for the Seahawks. And now Walker of the Packers is down the defense. And the Seahawks are down to their third string center. Or they move somebody else from the line into the center position. And it was one of those non-contact injuries Walker appeared to have suffered. Because right off the bat, he's hopping on one leg. So 2nd and 9. At the 12. Clock's running again. Smith and Jigba's in motion. Settles in. Smith back to pass. And he goes for Njigba. Smith and Jigba. But Valentine of the Packers, number 24, defended the pass well and batted it down. So it's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 9 with 3:07 to go. Smith's in the gun again. Charbonnet's to his right. Tough snap for him to get, but he gets... Intercepted by the Packers, and Valentine was again the defender, and this time he made sure that he was going to get the ball. And he does his little interception dance, does Valentine. Fant was the intended receiver, but he was double teamed. And we're back to commercials. So when Iowa State tied Colorado for the division, they were only 7-4. They didn't get to participate in the championship game. That was Colorado for the North. Both teams were 4-4 to actually lead the division. The South was the predominant one that year. They had Oklahoma, Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, all had winning seasons. Sometimes that happens. Riches on one side, poverty on the other. Actually, they were 6-5. Well, this is obviously the best Iowa State had done in their entire college football history. But they couldn't get enough people to fill up AT&T Stadium in Irving, or was it Arlington? Somewhere in Texas, suburbia of Dallas. Okay. So Valentine took it to the 14, so the Packers are going to start deep in their own territory. Love hands it off to Jacobs, who gets through a couple of Seattle defenders to get 7 yards. But hold on, we got laundry. Holding on the offense, 71. Myers is the guilty party. That'll be half the distance to the goal penalty, so they'll go back all the way to the 7. Love in the gun, hands off to Jacobs yet again, who gets him out a bit of trouble, but only gets to the 11. 2-minute warnings coming up pretty soon, and this half has gone by really fast. Oh, they're going to run it again quickly, and now Love does the Aaron Rodgers, let's hurry it up so we can get these guys on a 12-man situation. But the Seahawks call the timeout to avoid the penalty. I wonder why the refs didn't stop it to let guys go off the field. Again, that great inconsistency they show. So, they credit him with 5 yards. It's at the 11.5 officially. 2nd and 12. Empty backfield. Love's in the gun. He's back to pass. There's a flag going already. And he gets it, and Kraft ends up catching it at the 36. He just lofted it up there, hoping he'd get a free play. Let's see if that was the case, because Seattle was trying to do the blitz and time it just right, but they may have gotten called for encroachment. 99, Leonard Williams was the guilty party, so it worked. They'll decline the penalty, though. So Kraft's catch counts. And we have a 2-minute warning officially upon us. Wonder if I can get away with a little bit of accent here so my Sun Devils can represent. I'm thinking about if I get the chance doing a stream of the Devils game, I'll have to see if I can get time off of work. Let's see. December 31st is a Tuesday. And I think the Sun Devils, in terms of the quarterfinals, will be the first game to go. No, they're playing on New Year's at 10 a.m. I'm going to miss it. It's the Boise State game that's going to be played on Tuesday. Although all the games are going to be on ESPN, so wouldn't be able to be like I'd watch it in the first place. I'll have to settle for the highlights. If the Sun Devils win, the next game will be on the 10th of January, also on ESPN. All the games are going to be on ESPN. That blows chunks. The only game that would be on network television would be, well, there would be two of them for the first round. Tennessee, Ohio State, and Indiana, Notre Dame would both be on ABC. Bummer. At least they're waiting until finals are done. So the play's off already. It's a handoff to Jacobs. No surprise there. And he's barreling his way to midfield. He gets 9. Let's see. The Packers have 2 timeouts left. They're in the hurry-up offense. Trying to save those timeouts. Jacobs gets another run and another first down and another big gain. As the clock winds down, they decide not to do the hurry-up thing this time. 1 minute left. Ball's at the 45 of the Seahawks. Love's in the gun. Now he's back to pass this time. Gets it off to Jaden Reed, who is immediately tackled by the Seahawks and gets only to the 42. Let's see what they're going to do this time. Okay, getting a bit of urgency now. Oh, now he's audibling, so much for the urgency. Back to pass. Gets it to Dobbs again. I don't know what the deal was there in terms of using all that time. They end up calling timeout. So time for really only 2 more plays with 10 seconds left. At the very least, they could try for a field goal. But he's got to hope he doesn't get intercepted if they do decide on a pass play. Ball's at the 37.5, or just short of the 37 more likely. Love's in the gun. Now back to pass. And he does the long throw. And we're going to have pass interference. Dobbs was grabbed as he was trying to go back for the pass. 4 seconds is officially on the clock. And he did manage to look back, but he got his hands on him before he did. There are indications they might go for a field goal. There's not much time to do anything else unless they can manage to throw a very quick pass to the end zone. Oh, wait, now they're going to try and go for it. It's 1st and goal. The ball's released at the 3. Very interesting. And now Seattle's taking a timeout just to see what the Packers have in mind and preliminarily. They're showing the playoff picture. My Cardinals are 9th. And whether they stay there will depend on if the Falcons can beat the Raiders on Monday night. Okay, Love is audibling. He's staying in the gun. He's probably trying to draw people offside, and the Seahawks aren't going for it. So Green Bay managed to take a timeout before getting a delayed game. So McManus now will earnestly go ahead and attempt the field goal. It's going to only be 21 yards. They could conceivably still have time left by the time it goes through the uprights. The kick is away, and it's good. Nope, they let it run down. And some extracurricular activity. Still got issues with So I don't know why. All this talking is making my rib a little edgy. My fractured rib, that is. If you're just joining me at halftime, sorry you're getting me at the wrong time, but I gotta step out and take some pain medication. So gonna step back for a little and back in a few. I give you my green share. Always checking out the light situation. Yeah, it should just about do it. So for Christmas, or the Christmas area, Texans will play the Chiefs and the Bucks will play the Cowboys, and both should be playoff important games. And they've got Ocho Cinco and Tom's main man, Kurt Benkert, doing simulcast games on Madden. Trying to see how that's going to go. The Packers lead 20-3. The Cardinals fan in me approves greatly. The regular NFL fan in me is kind of hoping for a closer game. Ugh. And for some reason, my rib cage is pulsating. I don't know if it's because of all the talking I'm actually doing. I may just go out early. Oh, the Suns. Let's see how that game's going. ESPN doesn't do a good job of updating. See if I can have any better luck with the NBA.com. Okay, the Suns are up by 6. Well past the first half. So 9:38 left in the fourth. Suns are up by 8. Apparently the game may be on TV. This would be something of a surprise. Okay, they are doing a good job of getting the game up to date. So the Suns just scored a basket. Come on, let's cooperate here. No, I don't want the Martha Stewart channel. There we go. I'm calling both games. Well, at least I know what I can go to when things are going slow on the football front. Suns have some interesting designs on their home uniforms. Their front just says the Valley in the classic lettering they used to have in the from the mid 70s to the early 90s. So the Suns are up by 10. Okay. Suns are now up by 10, although Nurkic just committed an offensive foul. Not a very smart one. Football game's underway again. 2nd and 7 for the Seahawks, who badly need to get a touchdown on this drive. And Smith's in the gun. Ball's at the 41. Smith gets it off to Smith and Jigba, who gets a first down and manages to get to the 49. So apparently Quay Walker is out with a bum ankle. Good news for the Hawks. Smith's under center, hands it off to Charbonnet, who gets away from some would-be Packer tacklers and gets a couple of yards. McDuffie with a tackle, number 58 for the Packers. And Tyler Lockett's down and hurt. One of these days I have to go back into history and see how badly people got hurt in football in the early 20th century. Back then, you were at more risk of getting a career-ending injury. There was no such thing as Tommy John surgery to do radical stuff to get your body back in fighting shape for sports. Well, Smith is back to pass. He gets it to DK Metcalf. And he's able to get to the Packers 41. You know, it was still in the 40s, the 1940s, that is, when people didn't even have face masks. There wasn't any extra padding. It's a handoff, and the Seahawks get the first down. Charbonnet able to rumble and push his way to the Packers 45. Okay, Smith back to pass. Oh, he is brought down. Number 95, Devontae White with the sack. A Wyatt, not White. 12 minutes left in the third. And you can hear Go Pack Go in the background. Significantly enough. And they try to do a screen, but Smith didn't see anything good. So he just spiked the ball into the ground where the running back was. And hello, new viewer. So an eligible man downfield was declined because it's now 3rd and 19 due to the incomplete pass. And they really need to get the first down now. I know, understatement of the millennium. Ball's now at the 45 of the Seahawks. 3rd and 19. Smith back to pass. And he's trying to get out of there. Gets it to Fant, who manages to squirm his way through some tacklers and actually get the first down. Another flag. And it's holding. Smith thought it was a face mask. So 3rd and 29. You can hear the discontented mumblings in the crowd. So now it's on the Seahawks 45. And he gets the pass off to Charbonnet, but he can only get to the Packers 43. So they'll bring up a 4th down. We're under 11 minutes in the third. They're going to punt it. Few boos being heard. Reed's going to be the return man. Dixon's going to be the punter. The snap and the punt. Trying to angle it so it can go into the 10-yard line area, and he successfully does it. Reed winds up making a fair catch around the 7. They actually have a Christmas dive bar in Seattle. I wonder if they have such a thing in Portland. Pretty sure they do. Let's go back to the basketball game. Up commercial. Nuts. Okay. Ooh, Suns are up by 14. 6:13 left. Must be some sort of TV timeout. So the Hawks have had a 4-game winning streak thanks in part to the defense. But defense has let them down. Love's in the gun, gets the pass off to Jaden Reed. Able to get about 8 yards. Forced out of bounds. Okay. Love's in the gun again. When I say that, it kind of sounds a bit weird. Anyway, he hands it off to Jacobs, but he's apparently held short. Okay. Love's under center, hands it off, but no way, Jose. Leonard Williams bursts through the line and able to get Jacobs in the backfield for a loss. So I think for the first time, we're going to see the Green Bay Packers punter. So it's Whelan who's going to punt it off to Darden, number 1 of the Seahawks. The punt is away. It bounces at midfield and it's going backwards, and it takes a while for the Packers to realize that, oh, this is not good if it keeps going our way. So it's down at the Packers 45 as they play the Presidents of the United States of America. Kitty. Kitty at my foot and I want to touch it. Kitty at my foot and I want to touch it. A kitty at my foot and I want to touch it. Kitty at my foot and I want to touch it. Kitty at my foot and I want to touch it. Kitty at my foot and I want to touch it. Meow, 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 meow. Who says I'm not talented? So we'll see if the Seahawks can take advantage of this situation. It's interesting. So the number 12 was retired in honor of the fans for the Seahawks, who are back to pass with Geno Smith, and he gets it open to Lockett halfway through the third quarter now. They showed what apparently were either the original owners or the owner and the GM of the Seahawks at the time. They had a guy in a bowl haircut who looked like Ken Burns. I don't know who that was. And then a taller, fatter dude. One of those Laurel and Hardy situations. Another pass by Smith, but he was under pressure and had to throw it to the feet of his receiver. And apparently there was a low tackle as he was throwing the ball. Edgerrin Cooper and the referee consultant NBC is using says it's a legit hit. But Smith's in significant amount of pain. He's now on the sideline. And Sam Howell is going to be the sub. He played for the Commanders last year, so now I'm remembering the name. 7:09 left. 2nd and 10. The ball's at the 24 of the Packers. And he gets a quick pass off to Smith and Jigba, but Keyshawn Nixon was on it despite the block, and we have a loss on that play. Smith's still on the sideline with his helmet off, and he's struggling. So, 3rd and 12. They can't afford to get a turnover, obviously, but they want to get at least a field goal if they can't get a first down here. And it's an incomplete pass. He intended to get to Noah Fant, but it was too low. And Howell was under pressure from Cooper. So it'll be a field goal try indeed. Myers is out there. 6:25 left in the third. It'll be a 45-yard attempt. Snap, the hold, the kick by Myers, right down the middle. So, 20-6 Green Bay. So we'll have an official timeout again. I don't know what it is that people insist on showing horror movies around Christmas. Halloween, yeah, that makes sense. Christmas, no. Whoever's joining me at this commercial break, welcome. Feel free to chat me up if you want. It's about 7:10 here Pacific time. Trying to keep myself warm. Even though the air temperature is above average in here. My hands still feel pretty cold. Although they're okay now. Okay, back to the action. And they're showing some Christmas lights. Don't know where that is. It looks very nice. Christmas market. So Myers has the kick. And Nixon decides to take a knee in the end zone this time. A rare touchback in this instance. A rare thing in any game around the league lately. So the Packers offense has two starting offensive line combinations, second fewest in the league. They've been strangely fortunate in terms of the injury bug not hitting them. Love under center and is now back to pass, and he chucks it out, and we got a flag. No turnaround by the secondary player, Job, number 29. Christian Watson was the intended receiver. Well, he actually did turn around. It just was a bit too late. And Smith is going towards the locker, it looks like. I don't know why they're having him walk. They should be carrying him on a cart. 8 penalties in the game. 5 on Seattle for over 100 yards. Love pitches it to Jacobs, but again, defensive lineman in this instance, Draymond Jones, number 55, was the one getting in the backfield early and getting Jacobs down for a loss as there's less than 6 minutes left in the third. Love's in the gun. Now he's back to pass. It's a screen. Brooks, the receiver, number 30, out of the backfield. Gets tackled before he can get the first down, but it's a nice gain. Now 3rd and 4. 5 minutes left in the quarter. It's at the Seahawks 25. Love back to pass. Forced out of the pocket. But he gets the pass off, and Watson's able to catch it. So that pass interference play was a killer. Love still only has one incompletion. Talk about efficient. And he hands it off to Reed on the end around. Forced out of bounds. Under 4 minutes left in the quarter. Forced out about the 9, it looks like. Yeah, they place it at the 9, so it's 2nd and 5. Love's in the gun again. A fake handoff to Reed. They give it to Jacobs, but the D-line holds its ground, and he gets nothing. And hello to whoever's joining me. Feel free to chat me up on anything if you want. Take off your jacket and stay a while. It's cold out there. Pretty much wherever you are in the U.S. So 3rd and 5 now. Under 3 left in the quarter now. Whoops. We had a false start. Although Tarico was saying Seattle moved first. Refs are going to discuss it for a bit. Nope, it's on the offense. 75, Ryan, the guilty party. He of the large mane of hair. Almost lion-like. Third and 10 now. Loving the gun. Back to pass. Gets it off to Watson, who got clobbered by number 48, Knight. Watson able to hold on to the ball, but it'll be 4th down, and they'll have to kick the field goal. So it's 4th and 1, but LaFleur is not going to take any big chances with this. Only a 23-yarder. McMass has done well. And again, he makes it good. So it's been a field goal full 3rd quarter. And it looks like Sam Howell's going to be the quarterback for the rest of the game for the Seahawks. Not what you want to see as a Hawks fan. I gotta start prepping for dinner. I again give you the green share. Kickoff is being done by the Packers, and it's being taken back by Darden. He's at the 25 and stopped at the 26, and Edgerrin Cooper also doing special teams duty, and now all of a sudden we got action in the form of a possible fight. So 1:30 left. Howell's in the gun now. Back to pass, and he's immediately sacked. And Agbare, number 55, the man with a mission. Ball now at the 21. Howell back to pass again. Now he's chased out of the pocket. He's able to get forward past the line of scrimmage, but only gets 3. And Smith is trying to gut his way back. Now they're doing the hurry up. Now he's audibling. Back to pass. Oh, he slipped, but he's able to get out, and he's sacked yet again. And the clock's going to wind down as it's 4th and 16 to the quarter ending. Definitely a game the Hawks would like to forget. And I am going to go and get my grub. It just doesn't look good for them. And I don't know if Smith going out there on one good leg is going to help them any. The microwave's complaining, so again, I give you my green share. Let's see if I can view the game action from my Barstool chair. It appears I can. going to let my Hot Pocket cool first. Punt is away by Dixon. And Reed is taking it and is tackled at the 44 of the Packers. 14:50 left in the game. Packers again get the ball. We'll have a short commercial timeout situation. Packers up by 17. Love under center. Jacobs in the backfield. Lone back in the backfield. Love is doing the audible thing, it appears. And hands it off to Jacobs, which is all he really needs to do tonight. Because Seahawks offense ain't doing squat. Second and 7. Love's in the gun now, back to pass. He gets it to Jacobs, which is kind of a modified running back screen, but it only gets 5, 6. And he was under pressure. Because they were trying to sell the screen. Leonard Williams was the one from the D-line who ended up tackling Jacobs. So it's 3rd and 3. Ball's right at the 50. Reed's in motion. Love's in the gun. Back to pass now. Gets it off to Watson, but it was behind him and incomplete. Looks like they're going to punt again. Another rarity for the Packers tonight. Love threw that pretty quick, but Watson, apparently it was too quick. Oh, wait, now they're going to go for it. Unless they're trying to make Seattle jump offside. Nope. Didn't work. So it'll be delay a game. Now they'll go ahead and earnestly punt it. Wheelan to punt it with 13:27 left. He gets it off. Oh, Darden wasn't there to return it for some reason. And the ball ends up being down at the 4. Not a good play by the Seahawks. I don't know what they were trying to do there because they didn't look like they were trying to block it. Ugh. So we got a commercial where Patrick Mahomes is playing a hairstylist for some reason. Ugh. Okay, Howell's back in there from his own end zone. Back to pass. He gets it off to Charbonnet, but it turns out to be too far, and it's incomplete. The Seahawks are basically doomed. And again, the Go Pack Go chant can be visibly heard. Powell gets it off quick, but it's bad away. Cooper going in the backfield now. Able to bat it away. Okay, 3rd and 10. Howell back to pass. And again, it's incomplete. There's just no time for him to develop the play and see if he can find out which is the open receiver. He's under pressure. And so Dixon is really way back in the end zone for this punt. They're able to get the punt off. The Packers weren't pressuring it. Reed fair catches it at the 43 of the Packers. Nice replay of a real Seahawk. Now it's time for me to continue my eating. So it'll be the Cowboys and the Buccaneers next Sunday. The Packers are back up on offense. Love is back to pass. Finds Dobbs wide open, but the pass is behind him and it's incomplete. Excuse me. I don't know why they're still passing. They've got this game in the bag. You're just letting the clock stop every time you throw an incompletion. You don't want that, and I don't want that, and I don't believe your fans staying up this late in Wisconsin want that either. Now they go back to the run game with Jacobs, who gets... Oh, no, he fumbled! Oh! It's recovered by Love, number 20. Wow. Well, there's an unexpected development. He was stumbling towards the 50, and it was punched out by number 13, Ernest Jones, and Love picked it up to get in the Packer territory. So just when I say go ahead and run the ball, they run it and then they cough it up. Okay, I'm wide awake now. I don't know what the Seahawks can do to take advantage of this with their second-string quarterback getting his first action of the season. But he's back to pass. Has time. Able to get to one of his tight ends. Varner, number 88. He gets forward progress of 5 yards. So it's a 17-point lead. 3 scores to get back on the right side as Howell throws it, but it's incomplete. Apparently a confusion on what route he was going to go. Howell back to pass again, gets it off quickly, gets it to Smith and Jigba, who breaks a tackle and is bowling his way forward. So some good news finally for the Seahawks. They're in the no-huddle situation now. Ball's at the 28 of the Packers. Powell back to pass. He gets it off quickly again to Smith and Jigba, who gets about 3.5. So they're past the 25. I don't know if any Seahawks fans have left at this point, but the ones that are staying are certainly getting a bit encouraged. And they hand it off to Charbonnet, who's got a hole on the side, and he may get into the end zone, and he does! Oh! They take advantage of the turnover. After going pass, and keep on passing, they finally go to the run game. Charbonnet gets a hole by the line. Extra point try for Myers. And it's good. Right down the middle. Okay. As Spoonman by Soundgarden plays, I miss Chris Cornell. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on this next drive. Uh, hmm. I don't know what to expect now. Because what I expected to happen from here on out got blown out of the water. So my book's dropped. So the punch of the ball is becoming more frequent to force fumbles now. And again, we've got a return going on by Nixon at the kickoff, and he gets to the 34 of the Packers. Okay. So lead's been cut to 10. I don't know what to do from here other than keep going with the run because it's met with nothing but success, although it hasn't been as successful this half, but you got to keep trying it and just take better care of the ball. So Love's in the gun, hands it off to Jacobs again, and he got 4 and was able to hold on to the ball, which is the most important thing. We're under 11 minutes. Need to keep time running off the clock and churning those yards in for first downs. Love's in the gun. He fakes the handoff to Reed. And whoa! Oh, that was weird. Made a motion to throw a ball, and it went straight into the ground. Bounced off of Mafe, number 53 of the Seahawks, who was coming in for a sack attempt. And that stops the clock. Oh, boy. Love's in the gun again. Back to pass. Rolling out. He's in trouble. He gets the pass off, but it's incomplete. So 10-16 left. Another incompletion. Another stoppage of the clock. There was no one open he could see. When Watson did finally get open, he wasn't in a position to make a good throw to him. Wheeling back to punt, able to get it off. Darden catches it at the 20. No fair catch. He's trying to run it out. And he gets it to the 33. So, Howell's still out there. All right. Now the ball is placed at the 32. Howell's back to pass. And they're wondering whether he threw the ball or not, or if it's a fumble. Howell was under pressure yet again. Kenny Clark was in for the sack, and it bounced off of him. The Packers were hoping it was a fumble instead because they had one of their guys right on it. Now, Matt LaFleur's decided to challenge it as we're under 10 minutes in the game left. So LaFleur's gone 0 on challenges. He's going to continue that streak today. That's not the best of angles to determine if the ball was going forward when it went out of Howell's hand. I was really kind of hoping that I could just go ahead and go to bed and put some ice on my throbbing wound. But no, Seattle has to try and make a game of it. It's almost 8 o'clock. So the call stands, and LaFleur is still in the 0 for standings. Howell's back to pass, and He gets it to Fant, but he's got a guy draped all over him and is bobbling the ball, and it's incomplete. Howell's 4 for 11 since he replaced Smith. The protection just isn't that good, and the coverage of the Packer defense has been sterling. And now Hall back to pass again. He gets it to Fant, but it's well short of the first down. Only about 4 yards. Although one of Jade's headbands has decided to make an appearance. Let's see what it's for. And the head ref is talking to LaFleur about it. Must be on the Seahawks. Offsides on the offense? They're going to replay the third down. It was on Lockett. I don't see it. Now apparently he's decided to decline it and force him to. Well, normally he'd be forced to punt, but they might be going for it. By the booing, I guess they're going to punt it. So there's Dixon. And the punt is away. It's not a fake. Reed's there, and he fumbled it! Oh! And then he recovered it. A muff. And he was able to get it back. Number 83 of the Seahawks was there. That was Young, but he went too far to be able to try and get his hand on the ball. And Love passes it quickly, gets it to Wicks, who gets a first down. Ball's at the 28. Under 9 minutes. Love in the gun. Hands it. No, he fakes the handoff to Jacobs. He does an end around to Reed. And he's able to get the first down, but he's forced out of bounds, and that stops the clock momentarily. But they started up again once they put the ball on the ground and do the measurement. This clock continues to wind, close to the 8-minute mark. Ball's in the 41. And again, they do a pitch out to Reed, who again gets a first. again is forced out of bounds, and the clock is momentarily stopped. Under 8 minutes. It was more of a forward pass, like a double-handed shovel pass. And they're in Seahawks territory at the 47. Hands it to Jacobs. It's just a normal play, and he's able to hang on to it and get to the 43, letting the clock run down. Seven minutes left officially. And they're taking their time in the huddle to keep the clock winding down. Love in the gun again. Another handoff to Jacobs, who gets 4 before being brought down. It'll be 3rd and 2. Close to 6 minutes left in the half, in the half and the game, the quarter of the half and the game. They decide to take a timeout. Crowd was really getting into Love's ears, pointing to his helmet that he couldn't hear. So the clock is stopped at 5:59. Love's in the gun. Trips wideouts to the right. Jacobs is to the right as well. Love back to pass. The blitz is on. And somebody fell down. Reed was the intended receiver, but it's incomplete. Way incomplete. I don't know if Reed tripped over a defender or just lost his balance, but they're actually going to go for it, or at least make like they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it. It's Jacobs, but he doesn't make it. Williams and Jones stuff him at the line of scrimmage. Well, let's see if Sam Howell and company can actually do anything with it. Okay. And there we got the obligatory bare-chested fat dude they're showing. Didn't need to see that. Howell back to pass again, and again he is sacked. Howell seems to be a sack-absorbing quarterback. He really had the problems with that in Washington, the DC that is. Howell manages to get a pass up, but it's picked. Edgerrin Cooper. Now that ought to do it. With 5:17 left. Cooper had time, but he just was too anxious to probably get it off. That's what happens when you get the happy feet or the sack anxious, maybe is the better word. They're showing the schedule for the remaining leading NFC North teams. Green Bay would seem to have the easier route to the end, but it's a handoff to Jacobs, who gets one. And Seattle's gone to taking timeouts. Now we have the West. All four teams played teams with losing records outside of the division. With Seattle losing, the Niners still have a shot themselves to win, but they'd have to win all three of their remaining games. Whoever wins this division is going to have to probably win out everything. And now Green Bay calls a timeout because they can't get the play figured out. Yeah. Given the way the North Division is, if Packers win this, they'll have 10 wins and still be 2 positions down in the standings. Love gets the pass off. Oh, he got Dobbs to... He was able to make the catch. Dobbs did a yeoman's job to keep himself in bounds and the ball in his hands. And one elbow equals 2 feet as far as the refs are concerned, just as one knee equals 2 feet. Yep, it's over. McManus makes the extra point. And I've got a PC game to attend to. Two TDs for Dobbs. So the extra padding on the helmet is called a Guardian cap. And he's one of the Dakota guys, along with Christian Watson, who went to South Dakota. Or was it North? Or maybe it's the other way around. Either way, they've been good draft picks for the Packers as Darden tries to run it out. And he does a good job. So of the 3 of the 4 losses they've had, they've been by 1 score, and they've been against the best winning teams in the NFC, who all have 10-plus win seasons. The Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles. They're beating the teams they're supposed to beat and making it a challenge for the teams that were more tough to beat. As Sam Howell tries to advance his team down the field, but there's a flag on the play. Oh, hello, people. If you want to chat me up about anything, go right ahead. Because I think it's safe to assume that the Packers are going to win this thing, so I'm just playing out the strings, so to speak, as we try and figure out what the flag is. It's a legal formation against the Seahawks, or maybe it was offside, or maybe it was both. Either way, the penalty's been declined because it's incomplete. We have another sack on Howell. Cox number 57. The 7th sack the Packers have had. And there are 4 minutes left. The Seahawks are going to punt it. I'll still have the game on, but I'm just going to end this stream. I need to get some ice on my ribs. So, bye-bye. Bye, Bonds.